computer. Okay, I'm sorry, just I forgot this. Okay, so share the screen. Okay, and we will read the Logion 4, and it's short. And when we finish, if we have the time to go to Logion 5, I have the Logion 5. Okay. Elizabeth, if you want just to, you need to unmute.
Yep.
Yeah, you read the Logion 4 and read the first and the second paragraph, and then Gretchen, you the third and the fourth. Yeah, to the end. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So Carol, you later. Okay. So.
Okay. Yeshua said, an aged person will not hesitate to ask a 7-day-old infant about the place of life, and that person will live. Many of the first will make themselves last, and they will become one. We are very old beings. Scientists say that we are billions of years old on a cellular level, and the old parts of our brain remember the beginnings of humankind. Here, the Gospel of Thomas reminds those who are old that they must ask the child, for true knowledge consists not in accumulating more information, but in a new and fresh way of looking and innocence of the heart. The child is close to the place of life, not yet confined by duality, not yet separated from its mother and from the world. Thus, one may fruitfully inquire of the child as to the beginning.
Gretchen.
Those who are aged sense that their end will be like their beginning. What was our face before we were born? This is the same question as what will be our face after death. The infant still retains something of its face of eternity, of the serene source. It is not yet fully one sex or the other, recalling the myth of the primordial androgen. We begin to sense then that the 7-day-old infant symbolizes the initiate, the one who has received the 7 gifts of God and who has realized in itself the union of opposites, the beginning and the end. 7 days also symbolize the time allowed for the return to the unconditioned state. This is why the 8th day is chosen for the circumcision ceremony, when a male child acquires his first sign of membership in a sex, religion, and a society. But no matter what our age, no matter how heavy the weight of memories, this gospel invites us to remember the divine child within us, our unconditioned form. By letting this child live, we see the world through the fresh and joyous eyes of the source. Many of the first will make themselves last.
Let me just, many of the first will make themselves last. This line is akin to the teaching of Lao Tzu, who advocate the art of being useless, not used. Masters of this art have no pretense of knowing anything. They simply look, content to be the calm witness of what is, true gnosis consists largely of a vast removal, ridding ourselves of encumbrances. We get rid of vain words and concepts so that the mind becomes like a clear mirror, like the look of a child, like the forgotten lake lost in the wilderness, where no one swims, is water reflecting the moon impeccably without a ripple. Okay. Now what we are planning to do, okay. Just is only read the Logion 4 times, okay? And at this time, just a word or phrase is your interpretation. Remember, just I gave you the commentary of this book just to have some kind of intellectual kind of hints or whatever. But right now is you, your heart, what you receive in your heart, okay? A word or phrase, and that's it, okay? So, Carol, your first, Elizabeth second, Gretchen third, and I'll do the fourth time, okay? And look for word, phrase that impressed to you, okay?
You going to show it to us again?
Yeah.
Yes, the Yeshua said, yeah.
So we're going to read.
Yeah, we were planning to read the first one 4 times of a Lectio Divina.
Okay.
It is only the text, what the text is telling you in your heart. It's not in your intellect, okay? It's not in your mind. It's in your heart. If you don't receive nothing, it's okay. A phrase or something. Don't worry, okay? Whatever you get it, it's okay. Carol.
We can't see it.
It's, you cannot see, just you need to go um, in the bottom of your screen,
Down to share,
in chat, and then there is at your right,
Okay.
will open the chat, and you will have two things.
I see. Thank you.
Okay. So can you see, Carol?
Yes, yes, I have the book.
See Elizabeth?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. Just concentrate in the text there, and just Yeshua is Jesus. Jesus is talking to you. Yeshua is Jesus. Okay, is talking. Okay.
We're rereading the hotel,
Only the Logion.
the child, yeah.
Whatever
Okay.
I put in the chat, nothing else. I'm not
Okay.
planning to read the commentary. The Logion, I'm trying just to teach you that this material is what we are trying just is to develop some intuitive faculties in our mind. We have it. What happened is that we we don't have the development of the intuitive faculties are really very like this, underdeveloped. So what we need just is to learn how to open what the text is telling us. And sometimes when you start telling us your story can open my story, and my story can open Elizabeth's story, and Elizabeth's story can open Gretchen's story. And when Gretchen's story opens, Elizabeth's story can open through Yeshua. Okay. And that is how the things works in this kind of work. Okay, let's see how.
Just trust it, you're saying.
Trust your heart.
Trust it.
Trust your heart. It's Yeshua who is talking to you. Okay.
Joshua said, an aged person will not hesitate to ask a 7-year-old infant about the place of life, and that person will live. Many of the first will make themselves last, and they will become one.
Elizabeth, when you are ready.
Yeshua said, an aged person will not hesitate to ask a 7-day-old infant about the place of life, and that person will live. Many of the first will make themselves last, and they will become one.
Gretchen, when you're ready.
Yeshua said, an aged person will not hesitate to ask a 7-day-old infant about the place of life, and that person will live. Many of the first will make themselves last, and they will become one.
Yeshua said, an aged person will not hesitate to ask a 7-day-old infant about the place of life, and that person will live. Many of the first will make themselves last, and they will become one. Word and phrases.
will not hesitate.
Place of life.
Place of life.
An aged person.
As a 7-day-old infant.
Will make themselves last.
Become one.
That person will live.
Aged person.
Many of the first.
A 7-day-old infant.
So this Logion for you, what the phrases. So what the phrases, some of the phrases are telling you. Some of the phrases are telling you.
The place of life. The aged and the infant. The first and the last.
And they will become one.
Yeah, I just when the 7-day-old infant, just I don't know, I start thinking of a person that was carrying up the baby, and you have the baby's a unity. You are one with the baby, and the baby is one with you, and uh, and just it's expression I when you in the process of when you
Birthing.
yeah the birth, when you go into the birth canal and just it's you it's the separation, and just and there is a symbolic, just the 7 day, just is a 7 day of um in individuality process that occur. I mean, it's a process, 7 days, 7 years, but I relate just in dualism, and that just that concept just started just coming to my mind right now. Um,
the image of an infant, the life within you manifests through an infant, the God-given life within you that you basically bring forth to the world.
Yeah, when you see a baby, just the purity, the innocence, the the beauty, I don't know, just I say just it's the place of the place of life. I mean, just I don't know how wow, they want to wonder and just say wow, and and this is the way they just um, the first two phrases just are connected, no? That just we just return to that circle. I mean, we return to that point.
The Alpha and the Omega.
Yeah. Don't know. Just that remind me that that circle.
How unfiltered life is, that person will live, that it's pure and real. Apparently all the gospels spoke to this, because it's got Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John down there.
Yeah. And we just ask ourselves, I mean, that is the question that we ask always, how we just get to that point. I mean, in the canonical gospels, how we get to that point, and we just and just it's in the silent, it's in just be in prayer, in coming back to to that unity, and to be one like an infant. Just it's I was reading right now, just is like a metaphor of ink and a paper, and they say just that the ink is consciousness, and like and I mean, your life, you were constructing things in your life, and but just you're making a lot of things. You begin your life with like a dot and the paper, and you construct things and things and things, and then just when you get old, you are deconstructing and coming back to just a dot. Yeah, and life is like that, just. And our spiritual journey is the same thing, just and what we need just is to learn that we just God is giving us just this some tools just to learn that God is inside that dot. We have that dot just inside of it, that little flame inside of us. And if we get into that place, he's guiding us. Yeah. So anyway, so
The infant still retains something of its face of eternity, of the serene source. So that sense of what we had, and this talks about the first will make themselves last. It's the coming to that appreciation of what was always there, and that it takes a life to do that.
yeah. And for you, Elizabeth, do you have a something just that strike you, a word of
Yes.
truth or something that
No,
just
I did. I
Uh-huh.
did have my own children. I got stuck on place of life. Place of life led me to just is. Is took me to now, and now took me to stay in the newness of now. And that's where I kind of settled in. They say that God is the eternal now, and I hadn't thought of that. That's how I interpreted it at the end. But that was the first thing that came to me, is now, to stay throughout life in the newness of now. Not back, not forward, but now.
Mhm. Well, I don't want just to push a lot. So that is the reason I put Logion 5 too. So we can just, and for you, Gretchen, just do you have a word
I'm
of,
lost in the metaphors.
you want the metaphor?
um,
You are
I think it's beautiful, but
whatever you feel or whatever. If you are lost, it's okay. Don't worry. Okay.
I thought that maybe the older person had forgotten about where life begins, or something like that, the place of life, or where God lives, because it's capital L and capital P. But then they tack on, and that person will live, and I'm trying to figure out which person is that person? Is that the person who asks, or is that the person that tells about the place of life? I don't quite get it.
But I think it's beautiful to say that, just because when we come to life, I mean, just we know that we are just where we come from, but just with the days and years, we forget
Mm-hmm.
that we come from God, and God who is with us, or the presence of God, and we just, the memory just, and we had to have people to remind us. And I think just and we had to ask and ask and ask. And I think you said you are right. Yeah. Anyway.
When Elizabeth talks about the newness, it's remembering the newness of now, of every moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, let me just yeah, I'll brought just the Logion 5. Just I don't want just to push you to, and you feel shit. I'm sharing the Logion file. Are you reading the Logion file or no?
Yes.
Okay. Carol, do you want to read? It's short, okay? Just read it complete.
Joshua,
Yeah.
log in 5 to read the
Yeah.
top. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeshua said, recognize what is in front of you, and what is hidden from you will be revealed. There is nothing hidden that will not be revealed.
Just from the commentary. Don't you see the commentary in the
Yes.
screen? Yeah, just read
No.
the commentary. Yeah, too.
Speaking
Mhm.
for the canonical tradition of Matthew, Clement of Alexandria said, admire the things that are in front of you. Gnosis is not a system, not another ideology through which we are to interpret and understand the world. On the contrary, it means opening our eyes to what we are already looking at right in front of us, not searching somewhere else. Heaven, the kingdom, God are there where I am. As Meister Eckhart said, the eye with which I see God is the eye with which God sees me. One eye, one vision, one knowledge, one love. Things are not hidden in themselves. They are open. The veils hiding them are in the habits of our own vision. So crude, so overloaded with memories and assumptions about reality, distorting what is before us. We know the story of Paul, of the day when the scales fell from his eyes and he saw the living Christ in the very people he had been persecuting. And on Mount Tabor, as the Byzantine tradition teaches, it was not Christ who was transformed, but rather the eyes of the disciples who were finally able to see him truly. Gnosis is a long-term work of recognition, of purity of attention, so as really to see what is in front of us. The consequence of this attention is that we become what we see and what we love. This is why it is important to look deeply in order to perceive what is truest in all beings. Seeing the face within, deeper than the surface grins and frowns. Mankind is a free mirror, according to the patristic tradition. If we look at chaos, we will reflect chaos. If we look at light, we will reflect light. Consider this Logion from the Gospel of Philip, also found at Nag Hammadi, which develops this theme further. It is impossible for anyone to see the everlasting reality and not become like it. The truth is not realized like the truth in the world. Those who see the sun do not become the sun. Those who see the sky, the earth, or anything that exists do not become what they see. But when you see something in this other space, you become it. If you know the breath, you are the breath. If you know the Christ, you become the Christ. If you see the Father, you are the Father.
Elizabeth,
I cannot see it. I can only see the little gray box with Yeshua said.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now just will read 4 times just the. So you didn't see the other one, or Carol? You read the
No, but I recognized it from what I read, so I could relate to it because I read that in the book, but it's not on my screen.
I am sorry. Just did you read from the book, Carol?
Yeah,
Yes, I did read from the book. But they
Ah,
probably saw it on the screen, right?
didn't you see from the screen?
No,
And you, Gretchen?
I saw it on the screen.
Ah, okay. Anyway, well, Elizabeth, don't you mind just read just what is in the right side, just the Logion?
the only thing that is there is Yeshua said, recognize that, okay, just that.
That is the Logion, yes, yes.
Yeshua said, recognize what is in front of you, and what is hidden from you will be revealed. There is nothing hidden that will not be revealed.
Okay, we'll read it just for time. Just Gretchen, you will read this second.
Yeshua said, recognize what is in front of you, and what is hidden from you will be revealed. There is nothing hidden that will not be revealed.
Carol,
Yeshua said, recognize what is in front of you, and what is hidden from you will be revealed. There is nothing hidden that will not be revealed.
Yeshua said, recognize what is in front of you, and what is hidden from you will be revealed. There is nothing hidden that will not be revealed. Words and phrases. In front of you.
What is hidden from you will be revealed.
Nothing hidden that will not be revealed.
Hidden.
Recognize.
Not be revealed. For you, what is the meaning of in your heart?
Hidden in front of you. That idea. And will be revealed.
For me, it's talking just a change of perception. It's something that I see something one time, and in a, it's the same thing when you read something and you take the book, and 2 or 3 years later or 4 years later, your perception or and you open the book and you see the things in a different way. It's a change of perception.
Poetry does that
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Time also affects perception, reflecting back on an incident or gives you a different sense, because we're a different person at that point too.
Yeah. Yeah, we are changing.
I mean, you're talking about attuning our faculties to open them up to other experience and belief, really.
Yeah, to trust. Just is said to trust, to
Trust that when you need to see other material or other things, I don't know what to say, it will be revealed. So you don't have to worry about it. Right.
Yeah, many things just we don't need to worry about. Just you need to know what you need to know. It's like alchemy. I don't know if it's I don't know if that you had an experience that you are in the right place, right moment, and the things start working, and everything just start just working, like chemical reaction, and in front of you, um, and your perception,
And then you see it,
and you can
but
see
you have to be looking too. You have to notice,
and you
have that awareness, or
yeah. And you have to be aware.
to be looking for it. The idea where it says it's impossible for anyone to see the everlasting reality and not become like it. That when you see something in this other space, you become it. That's like, wow, is that a powerful idea? That somehow you're attracted to this larger love that infuses the world. And if you can see it, you become more like it. I mean, more loving. I don't, that whole idea of the attraction to it or something. I mean, it's a very powerful notion, really.
probably need just to learn how to open our heart. It's a kind of sensitivity just in our body. Um, and um, and the training wheels that we have is centering prayer. That is a training wheel. And the training wheels is silent, and it's the silent that we practice every day. And that's
It's scary to be sensitive. I
yeah,
mean, it is, that idea
yeah. I mean,
of
it's just,
being open and sensitive.
yeah. Um, it's not something that you get it just right away. It's something that you need to practice and be something just Father Keating says. You need to be consistent every day. Just it's not something that you do it just once a week.
We get once a week answers.
Oh no, it's not. It's not. It's something that you need to be consistent and be present. And then you have that kind of that silent
Discipline.
discipline. Yeah, it's a discipline. It's something, and then you carry that in your daily life, and you have the presence. And there are moments just, and you could cultivate that. And I was doing a introduction of centering prayer, and I say, wow. I found just some material there here, just that, and he said that we don't know exactly when happens, but just even just in a train or in a plane or something, our nervous system just change and make like click, and it's our body. It's our body has to change. It's our nervous system, our just spine and our brain has to not just to be able to connect.
How that's described in the modern world is, it's interesting. How do you communicate that?
Yeah, let me see if I found the. No, I for next time I'll get the page, but just I was, when, I had read the first time that book, I said, I couldn't understand, many things. And the same thing, just reading, just, I was accepted to participate in a new Spanish group with Cindia Boyo.
Oh,
Yeah, and they are starting, and they send me, and I was really excited, and
does she speak Spanish?
no, but they are, getting, Spanish speaking people from different countries, and I offer, and they just told me that, yes, they are planning to include me. So I start getting information about her theology, and just to get things more clear and more. So I reading her books and all this stuff, and I'm talking about, I'm going back to 2008 or 2007 when I read her material and I say, wow. and
You're
and
seeing it differently. It has a different
yeah,
dimension now.
yeah, different, different. And how she, Father Keating, you know, mm, Father Keating influenced so much in me, and I couldn't understand her at that moment because she had a very complicated language, and my English was not good enough for her level. So now just I'm reading the books and I say, oh my God. I start just laughing, just
How different you are from her?
how
How
different,
did you
how
understand?
different, just how different, just
Mhm.
how different. I say, wow. I had to go to different route, to get to her. Uh, but what they are trying to tell us, Father Keating, and that that was the same message that I received from Father Keating is through your heart, it's your heartfulness.
Mhm.
Is and the center in prayer is making your heart, is through your heart, is that you connect with the world.
Mhm.
And it's the same thing, and the different religions, and we connect with other religions through the heart.
Yes.
Yeah, and that is just the secret, and that is the beauty. And it's not through the intellect. Just the intellect is our mind, is what our senses. And when we connect with the heart, we connect with the cosmos, and we connect with people, and we connect with God. We connect, and God connect with us because He's in our heart. And that is the, and for me, it took me years to understand that. It's through our heart is not the organ, is this section of our body.
Mhm.
Is this section from here to the bottom of the diaphragm.
Mhm.
Is all this connection of nervous systems, and that is called the heart. And
When they talk about the Sacred Heart of Jesus, all those
exactly.
holy cards.
But it's not the heart, because the heart is this section of the body, and is this, and you feel it when you go to, what time is it? Oh my God, it's 4:32. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We passed the time. I'm sorry. Seriously. Past the time. But but it's let's just close. We passed the hour. I'm sorry. Um, I'm sorry. Let's just pray. I don't know if Ronnie, I'll call her. And Gretchen, do you have somebody to pray? Elizabeth, do you have somebody to pray or to close the meeting?
No, not at the moment. Things
Not
are
at the moment. Okay. Well, I have just a family right now. They are going for difficulties right now. They are in Florida right now. Just I pray for them. And let's just pray the Our Father. Our Father,
Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
thy kingdom,
Thy kingdom come,
thy
thy
will
will
be
be
done
done on earth as it is in
in
heaven.
heaven.
Give
Give us this
us
day
this day our daily
our daily
bread,
bread, and
and
forgive us
forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who
our
trespass against
trespasses,
us.
and
And
lead
lead
us
us not into
into
temptation,
temptation, but deliver
but
us
deliver us from evil.
for thine is the
fine.
Thine
kingdom
is the kingdom and the
and the
power
power
and the glory,
forever.
now and forever.
Amen.
Okay. Well, take care and have a nice
Thank you.
day.
You
Bye.
guys, well.
Bye.
Bye.
Next
Okay.
week. Bye.
Bye.